Right now, your awareness is watching you watch this video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how not identifying with your mind and your body gives you a lot of power to enjoy life. And the second half of the video, I'm going to talk about some practices that will help you realize this and make this kind of your default mode of being in the world. So this idea of not identifying with the mind and body can be found in Buddhism, Taoism, Advaita Vedanta, yoga, pretty much any religion or philosophy that advises you to just sit still and observe yourself. Because when human beings do that, everyone tends to come to pretty much a similar realization that there is kind of this internal awareness that's watching. And the more you observe the mind, the more you realize that it's imaginary and just pretty much made up. There's this quote that I really like by this Indian guru, Nisargadatta Maharaj, which goes, "Non-identification, when natural and spontaneous, is liberation. You need not know what you are. It's enough to know what you are not." All right, so the reason this is so powerful is because when you identify as this body and this mind, then everything that happens within the mind and the body is happening to you. You know, you're a victim of it all. But once you find that awareness and you kind of take that internal step back and you're able to just watch, then everything that's happening in the mind and the body isn't happening to you anymore. It's just happening, and it's okay. You find this stillness inside of you, this awareness that's permanent. It's very peaceful. And a big problem with humans is we're always chasing something. We're always working towards something. We're always trying to keep ourselves feeling good, but that's always going to be temporary. And so when you become more aware of your awareness and you spend more time being with that and identifying more as that, because we have to identify as something. You know, in order to have this experience and live in the world, there has to be some sense of identification. And so I think you'll find it very liberating to start identifying as awareness and not the body and the mind, because the body and the mind are just instruments for your awareness to experience life. When you drive around, you control your car, you control where it goes and what it does, but you're not your car. And the body is the same way. Your mind is just your body's steering wheel. When you walk around, you're not the walker, you're just taking the body on a walk. And so some people might say, well, doesn't that kind of discount this whole human experience that we're having? Like, what's the point then? And in my experience, no, not at all. It actually makes life way more enjoyable because you stop taking yourself and the body so seriously. You're more free to experience things and you don't care so much about embarrassment or failure or whatever because it's not you anymore. You know, your life kind of becomes a game. Like, quite literally, it really feels like a game for me. Like, this body is my avatar, you know, it's my skin. And then my mind is just kind of the persona, the character. And then I'm behind the scenes just watching it all. And so one of the main practices you can do to kind of clarify the difference between awareness and the mind is this practice called self-inquiry, which is essentially just kind of asking questions like, who am I? What's aware? This was very promoted by Ramana Maharshi, and he recommended, who am I? But it's not so much to get an answer, it's more so just to make awareness and mind more clear. All right, so imagine that I'm the mind, and this is kind of your mind's internal mental stage where all your thoughts and images happen. And so imagine that this is awareness. And so when you ask the question, who am I? You realize that it's the mind that's asking that question, who am I? What's aware? And you are the awareness that's watching the question happen. And so the more you do this, the more clear it becomes that the mind is this thing that's happening within your awareness, and it's not really you. And then it clarifies what this is, and it makes it easier to put your attention on that, which is, what some people call the real you, the true self. And then the more you do this, and the better you get at it, and you kind of start to realize that the mind is not you, and you kind of clarify your own awareness, then you can kind of let go of the self-inquiry, practice a little bit more, and just focus on awareness. Be aware of awareness, which is hard to explain. You're just going to have to practice it and see it for yourself. All right, but the more you turn your attention to awareness, the mind will just naturally kind of get a little bit more quieter, get a little bit more quieter, get a little bit more quieter. So in meditation, if you normally pay attention to your breath or something in the room, instead pay attention to that thing that's aware of the breath, that thing that's aware of what's in the room. Come back to that center point and observe that. That is stillness, that's silence, that's peace. Stay with that. All right, so if I sound kind of crazy, or if this just sounds like woo-woo, it's not. Awareness is very real. So go find it within yourself and experience it. Because that's the thing about awakening and spirituality. It's not intellectual. It's something you have to experience to really understand. And right now, your awareness is watching you watch this video. So go find that awareness. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that stillness that's always there. It's permanent. And be free from your mind.